This is the week 1 update of me working for myself in less than 3 months and homeschooling my kids.
As a single mom.
Starring the mess behind me. Pay no attention to that. This is gonna be a lot. My goal, I have to make $1,000 per week working either remotely for somebody else or for myself. I strongly feel God leading me to working for myself, and that's a little bit more of a struggle. Actually, I don't even know if it's more of a struggle because I've applied to a lot of places and I've only had one interview and it's not even a remote job. I've got my computer here to tell me what I've been doing. Number 1, I am shadowing a ghost tour this Friday. If you didn't see the original video about this, that was the one interview that I had to host ghost tours. The downside is it's an hour away from me and it's only $50 a tour.
Scratch that. I made the last minute decision to not do the ghost tour today because I felt like, driving, it'd be like a 3.5 hour thing doing the tour, driving there and back for $50. I just don't think it's lucrative. And I figured, well, I'd just go and shadow and see if it's what I want to bring to my city. But I don't think that I actually want to do that either. I think I'd rather just do virtual ghost tours on like TikTok and stuff, because I kind of already do that. I do storytelling about our city anyway on my TikTok and Instagram and all that, and I feel like maybe I should just niche down and just do that, do virtual ghost tours, and then I'm not driving anywhere. And maybe down the road if I want to do it in person, I'll do it in person. But sorry, I lied to you. I won't do it again. Tonight I'm going to go dancing instead. Anyways, carry on.
Number 2, I took off work yesterday. What a day it was. What a day it was. I took off to get my life together. Okay, now I'll explain what I was planning on doing in just a second because I had a strategy set up, but then we were bombarded with tornadoes and then my house almost caught fire. My dryer just decided to smoke up the whole house out of nowhere. So my dryer is in my garage and I went to go find a flashlight because I knew that the tornadoes were hurtling towards us. I'm like, you know what? The lights are going to go out here any minute. I got to get a flashlight. I walk in there, smoke everywhere. My bed sheets now smell like an ashtray because that's what was drying. So that's really nice, but it's okay. It's fine. Here is what I was doing. I paid $150 for a done-for-you virtual assistant coaching package situation. It came to me by accident. I was scrolling TikTok. This girl was live. She was like, I'm giving a discount on this done-for-you package, which is super smart marketing, by the way. This girl's making bank. She said, if you buy this before the live ends, you'll also get free one-on-one coaching with me. It was all discounted to $150. Literally, it includes contracts. It includes a step-by-step plan on how you can become a virtual assistant. It includes tips on how to price yourself. It includes documents in Canva already made for you. All you got to do is plug in your colors for your branding, your name, fill in a few things in the descriptions and stuff, and you're done. It also includes courses and a whole community that you're a part of. That is something that I need. I used to be, when I ran my photography business years ago, I loved figuring it all out. I figured out how to build a website. I figured out how to shoot and edit. I figured out how to market myself, all through trial and error, and it was all fun and games. But now I'm like, your girl ain't got the time that she had back then. I need to know now. I need you to do it for me. So I invested $150. So part of my time yesterday was spent reviewing all of that and figuring out where I need to fill in the gaps for myself to open up potentially a virtual assistant gig. I felt like it wasn't a loss, even if I don't do it full time, because it's something that I have in my arsenal of things to do just on the side. Because you can go on Fiverr, you can go on Upwork and become a virtual assistant doing 5 to 10 hours a week. And that sounds great to me. I'm sure that there's also friends and families that need virtual assistant help that you can just do here and there as you need extra cash. And at least this is done for you so that you don't spend all this time. And I'll actually leave, if I can find it, I'll leave her information in the description so you can get it yourself. The second thing that I did was I invested $100 into a social media auditor. So actually, you know what we'll do? Let's do like a profit and loss situation. So right now I'm out $250 for VA, telling me how to do that and starting a business like that, and then hiring a profile auditor. I booked this lady to do an audit on my social media because I don't know what direction I should go. My TikTok is kind of all over the place. I think this happens with a lot of people that post frequently is you go viral for random things, but then people don't know what to follow you for. You don't know how to monetize that. A lot of the stuff that I would post, it was just for my own enjoyment, but I could turn it into something. I just don't know what. So I hired a social media auditor to help me to look as a professional from the outside looking in. She has not gotten back to me yet. Her turnaround time, I believe, is 7 days. I will update how that goes. I'll be very transparent about what she tells me about my personal social media. I'll leave her information down below too. I'm a very kind of flighty person. I'm always stuck in imagination, and that's great in some areas, not so great when you're trying to get your life together. VA done for you, social media auditor, tell me what direction I'm going. The other thing that I did, when I tell you this, just hang on. Let's get through this part together. I joined a direct sales company. I know. Stop it. Don't break up with me just yet. I am not going to sell you nothing. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to leave a link. I would rather just show you what I'm doing, how's it working. I know that it gets a bad stigma. I used to do it. I did it for 5 years, and I'm very honest in my Instagram stories. I'm like, listen, if I don't like this stuff, I'm quitting, and I'll be straight up with you. And I was like that in the other business. If there were things that I didn't like, I told them. I'll update if that's even worth it. How is that going? How am I doing it? If you want to join one in the future, I'm not going to tell you what mine is. I don't want this to be about that whatsoever. I'll have to look and see the exact price that I paid for that, but I want to say it was around $300. We are now out $550. If that's incorrect, I'm going to update it. We're in the negatives, but it's okay because we're moving forward to something different, right? We got this. Everything's figure outable. I also researched on Fiverr what people price their packages as, because I know I'm going to sell services on Fiverr. I'm going to do my own social media audits, and that was the other thing. Hiring somebody to do my social media audit, I also wanted to hire her to figure out how she does it. It's kind of like if you want to write a book, the best way to write a book is to read a bunch of books. That's the fastest way to figure out how to do something when you don't have the knowledge or skills just yet. You want to start a photography business? Hire somebody as a photographer for you and your family and see how they do it. You get the best of both worlds. You figure out their process and you get pictures of your family. You can't lose there. But then this morning, one of my favorite things to do is look at the memories that pop up on Instagram and Facebook. This popped up on my Instagram where a couple of years ago, I offered a photography course, but that's besides the point. These are my kids. Right at the beginning of COVID, we were quarantined, I believe by the third time. Also, when we would quarantine, I think it was for like 5 weeks, and I would have to homeschool the kids, and we live in the country, and at the time we didn't have internet. We went without internet for 7 years when we moved into this house. Because of where we live, there wasn't online school for us. So I'd have to go to the school, pick up packs of papers to homeschool the kids sheet by sheet. And that was at the very beginning of my divorce. I was trying to work for myself and make a living to support my kids and then homeschooling them at the same time. And it was just a mess. And so I thought, we need some play back in our lives. I'm going to go on Instagram and ask people to give me just one word. And I'm going to use my imagination to create some kind of pictures out of it. So there were words like crayon, fire, spoon, and it ended up being our favorite season, hands down. There was a picture around Christmas time that we put together, and we literally threw flour everywhere, and the kids had so much fun because they were like, we can make a mess just because. And I felt like a kid again because I made a mess with them, because the thing that I think about all the time is, one, I say everything is figure outable, and two, everything is temporary. Getting flour on the ground is so worth it when you're having fun and making memories and just playing, knowing that you can just clean it back up. We stay pretty playful in this house. We've kind of lost sight of that lately because I'm in hustle mode, which I thought I'd never be back in again, but it's temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything is figure outable. But then it became a big part of therapy for me because the weeks that their dad would have them, I had nobody to photograph. So some of the prompts I would turn into self-portraits, and that was weird for me because I'd never really done that, and I'd always been very shy and introverted. I didn't like to be in front of the camera. I like to be behind it, but I pushed myself. And first of all, coming up with an imaginative picture, one word, I don't know how to describe it, but somehow those words began to carry meaning for me as I would think, well, what does this word mean to me? Like the word ambition from this picture. What does that actually mean for me? I don't see ambition as success for me. I see ambition as how hard I'm working for my kids every single day. And the books that I was standing on, how they built me and grew me into this person that could be the mom that they need. Then also ambition means, if in order for me to become the mom that they need, I had to become the person that I need for myself. And that was a big part of my ambition. So each word became something very personal to me, and being in front of the camera grew my confidence because it just broke down a lot of insecurities and walls for me. And I'm so glad that I did that series. And I'm really sad that I've not picked up my camera in a while to do it again. So I saw that and I thought, you know what? We do need to add some play in our lives, and I need creativity back. If I stay too long in hustle mode and strategy mode, and I have to do this where there's rules and I have to figure things out, then I'm just going to burn out and I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do to work for myself and homeschool my kids. So I thought, you know what, friends on Instagram, give me prompts again. Challenge me to put the rules aside and just play. And then I thought one of my biggest passions is inspiring moms to do just that, to put aside the should do's and pick up play with your kids, thinking of how finite their childhood is, how short their childhood is, and how short your motherhood is being one-on-one with them. My oldest is in middle school. He's in 6th grade. That's wild. And then my younger child, my daughter, she'll be in middle school next year. So time is slipping very quickly for me. And there's only so much longer where I can make pictures like this of them or do anything with them that's carefree and playful and just has that innocence to it, which is another reason why I want to homeschool. I want to slow down time for both them and me. And I want to inspire other people to do the same thing. So I'm thinking, I have a big motivation to show people behind the scenes to just pause life for a minute, have an adventure, no matter what that adventure looks like. The second thing that I thought about was, what if I went on Fiverr, continued building up this portfolio of these whimsical portraits, offer services to create book covers for authors? I've never done that before. I've wanted to in the past. I just didn't know how to get into it. And now I'm thinking, let me just stick my foot in the door. You never know. You never know until you try. It could completely flop. I could absolutely hate it, because one thing that I do get scared of, having something that I love doing turn into something that I have to do. And I think that's something that's made me hesitate as I've been applying for jobs and finding ways to work for myself, as I'm so scared. I got very burnt out of my photography business because the thing that I loved doing became a chore. So I want to make sure that I protect that part of my imagination and the things that I love doing so that that doesn't happen. One way that I'm going to be doing that is making sure to price myself accordingly. Price yourself accordingly. That's a whole other video. The thing is, life is fluid and life is anything that you want it to be. If you start doing something for 2 years and then decide, actually I want to transition into something else, you have permission to do that. It's okay if you change your mind. It's okay if you change your mind 10 minutes from now. And I think we've kind of grown up in a world where we think that we have to find one thing and stick to it for the rest of our life. I mean, college, hello. Figure out what you want to be for the rest of your life by the time you turn 18 when you don't even know who you are. Are you kidding me? I'm 32 years old. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. What I want to be when I grow up is just happy and fulfilled. I don't want to wait until I'm 70 years old and retired to finally enjoy my life. Because at that point, I'm going to be too withered and tired, and my joints are going to ache too much to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy it now. So if that means that I have to change my mind every so often to bring back joy into my life, that's fine, because everything is figure outable. There's no rules to life like we've made it out to be. Something that I'm struggling with just a little bit are the ADHD kind of symptoms where I have all of my eggs in multiple different baskets. I'm studying so many different things at the same time, trying to make sure. I think that I have a little bit of a fear of commitment, actually. I'm scared of going all in on one thing and it not working and me having wasted my time when my golden ticket was actually over here. It's like I have these endless possibilities. But here's the thing to remember. No matter what you choose, one, we have to look at it as a side quest and an experiment. I find a lot of peace when I look at something and I think, well, this sounds fun. I wonder what would happen if I do this. And then you're not so focused on the end result. You're more so focused on the journey and how it's going to feel along the way. Not only that, but I think that as we start to hustle and increase the speed of our life, we lose sight of God. The times that I've slowed down, prayed about something, and then just waited for his answer and just let myself just live in the moment, Those are the times that I've heard him the most clearly, and those are the times where the doors opened up the most obviously. But when you're moving so quickly, you're making a ruckus for yourself, you can't hear what he's telling you. You can't see. It's like you're driving a car. If you're zooming by, trying to get to your destination, you can't see anything out the window because you're going too fast. If you're going too fast, how are you going to see the door that God's opening? And he gave us free will. He's not going to walk us through the door ourselves. He opens them. He speaks to us if we just listen, but we have to make the decision, be discerning enough to see where he's leading us and go that way. That's what I'm reminding myself. And actually here in just a minute, I typically go to the gym and weightlift, and I feel like I want to do that. I want to weightlift. I'm a little addicted to it, but I think what I need is a long, silent walk. My body wants to pick up the weights. My soul and my mind just want to walk with Jesus. Also, before I go, one thing that I'm doing, if you have so many ideas and you don't know where to go from there or to pick one. I've been brainstorming everything, okay? I have a different page for different ideas. So like here's my page for my social media biz. There's got audits, there's a 30-day plan that I will offer people. That's another thing I'm thinking of doing, is doing a 30-day plan with small businesses and brands, having weekly check-ins. It's just an idea. It's not, I'm not attached to it. Here's a photography page and how I can offer that to make money. Here's my TikTok page and how I can niche down better. At least niche down with the right audience in mind. I have a to-do list. My favorite thing to do is make a master list of things and then look at it and say, okay, what's most important? What is going to move the needle more towards my goal? And I star, if you can see it, I star those things so that I'm not just task switching over and over and over, ADHD thing. And I can see, okay, what has to get done right now? And I see it all at once. I typically let myself just vomit all over a page first. This is how it began. And then I go back through and reorganize my thoughts. And I also keep a running list on my phone of things that I can check off so that if I'm out and about and an idea pops up, usually if I go for a walk and I talk with Jesus, I'm going to have a whole bunch of ideas. So I need a place to write them down, and I'm not going to carry a notebook with me. I will update on ghost tours, how the social media audit goes, virtual assisting, putting myself out on Fiverr for UGC content that I'm going to try. I'll get behind the scenes of me doing that and how I'm doing that, how much money I'm making. Is it worth it? Is it not? Doing my own social media audits, what websites I'm using, because that's something that I've been researching too. Like, do I use a Stan Store? Do I use Snipfeed? What do I use? I'm figuring that all out and I will let you know. Also, eventually going to make videos on how I budget for groceries. That's so random. I'll let you know how the direct sales business is going without telling you what it is, and show behind the scenes of that and how I'm selling without being salesy, because I've done this before. I don't know if it'll work this time again. We'll see. I did make a decent income. I was making about $2,500 a month in the last business. I'll probably keep a behind the scenes of my photography prompts. If you're interested in something to do with that, let me know, because I don't know. And also just let me know in the comments the number one thing that you want to see, because this is a collaborative thing. I'm figuring this out. I know that you're figuring this out too. If there's something else specific that you want to see from me or know more about something that I can break down, let me know. I would be so happy to do that video. But I'm going to go for my walk with Jesus now. Have a good day. Love you. Bye.